Hello, welcome to the live stream. I don't know whether we've got anyone watching at the moment. I'm just waiting for people to join in. You can type your questions in on the live chat either on YouTube, or I'm also streaming on Facebook at the moment as well. You'll need to be in my friends list to view this through Facebook. Anybody there at the moment? Gonna come and join me on this question and answer session on all your technology related stuff? I've got a couple of questions already that have been sent in prior. I'll aim to answer those on the stream just as soon as we've got some participants. Hello Irving, I see that you've just come to join us online. Nice to hear from you. I'm just having a bit of a problem with the live chat up on the stream. You can probably see it on YouTube anyway, but some people might like to see it at the side of the image that you can see of me just now. Let me just see if I can fix that. If you've got any questions, Irving, by all means fire away into the live chat, or you can WhatsApp me, or you can email support@alltechplus.com. Here are a few contact details for any of you that wanted to make note of those. There's the email address at the top. I'm also on Facebook and on YouTube, of course, which I think that's where Irving is watching us from at the moment. Twitter, Also on Skype, and then there's my mobile phone number there, and I use WhatsApp for business. It looks as though we've got someone watching us on Facebook as well. Send a comment under the stream to let us know who you are. I'm still trying to get this live chat to work actually on the screen, but it was working before, but in all things tried and rehearsed, when you actually come to do it live, it doesn't work. Well, that's good, Irving. I see you haven't got any questions. Maybe you'll think of something. I've got a couple of questions that somebody sent ahead of time about identifying not spam emails, scam emails, and also someone had a query about the House Party app, the app that I published an article about on my website. I'll answer those just as soon as I notice that that particular person is online. So welcome to the stream, Irving. And who have we got on Facebook? No, they've bobbed off again. Maybe they've decided to head on over to YouTube. Right, okay, it looks as though we're back in business. I've got the live chat working there on the stream itself. So let's just try one or two of the things. So I've got some little messages for you all. So if you're watching on a mobile device or a tablet, then you might want to take heed of this advice. And of course, if you're having a little bit of difficulty hearing me, don't forget to turn your volume up. Headphones might be quite useful as well. So it looks as though it's just me and you, Irving, at the moment. I did send an email out to quite a few people. It was just to do a little bit of testing. so I wasn't expecting lots and lots of people. Well, if nothing else, Irving, once we've shut the stream off, I plan to do an hour or so, so we're just 10 minutes in now. And what I'll probably do is ask you for a little bit of feedback on how you thought it was going. I do already have some questions to answer. I was hoping that Pam Jones might be joining us because one of the questions was hers, and I'm just trying to think who the other question was from about house party, although I understand that's been on the news today on ITV News with some concerns about hacking on that, which somewhat unfounded, so I'm led to believe, by an article that I found in the Telegraph. I'll explain a little bit more in just a moment. We'll just give it another 5 minutes or so, and then we'll get those up on the screen for you to have a look at. You can always go back to them if the particular participants do join us, of course. I think probably what we need to do for next time is to maybe just have a little bit of background music whilst there isn't a great deal going on. It's a bit of a waiting game. Oh, we've got 2 viewers on Facebook now, so 2 people have come to join us. Irving, would you like to say hello to us, those of you that are joining us from Facebook, and do you have any tech questions that you'd like answering, or any queries of that nature? Just pop it into the comments on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube you can put it into the live chat and everyone will see those questions come up in the stream. Just out of interest, those of you watching on YouTube, which I think is Irving at the moment, and someone on Facebook, can you let me know if you can hear me okay, and if the video is fairly smooth? I'm seeing a playback of it on my monitor. It's a little bit jerky, but I would hope that it's a little bit better stream wise. Let me know in the comments. Thank you. Right, okay, let's take a look at those questions which have already been asked. Someone was asking about the um, House Party app, which is something that I've recently written about on my own website. This is a great way for keeping in touch with friends and family, particularly as we're all locked down in our houses due to the coronavirus. You can use this app on your mobile phone or your tablet or your computer to video conference with up to 8 people. It's a really good way of just getting that social element back into your life whilst you're holed up at home. There's been one or two comments to me from various people saying that they'd heard that the app itself has been hacked and they can access your bank details and so on and so forth. And I understand it's also been on the news this morning. I think it was on ITV. I didn't see it myself. However, when I was asked the question a few days ago, I actually had a little search around on Google to see whether there was any truth in it. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that you might read either on the internet or particularly Facebook has to be taken with a bit of a pinch of salt. So it's always worth having a look round to see whether anyone else has mentioned this particular issue. I actually found an article on the Telegraph. You can actually get the link from my website, from the article itself, which tells you that the allegations are unfounded. In actual fact, the developer is offering a cash reward to the people that started the rumours up, and you know they're confident that that isn't the case. I think probably what happens is that quite a lot of people use the same usernames and passwords for absolutely everything that they go onto. So it does stand to reason that if someone does find out what your password is on one particular service, that you know they can get into other services as well with the same usernames and passwords. So it's always a good idea to use a different username and password. In actual fact, it may even well be worth using an email address that you use just for these kind of things that you don't use for anything that has access to sensitive data. So House Party, you can't get hacked using House Party. It's not true. You just have to take a bit of due care when you sign up for these things. Okay, Irving says that the sound is okay and the video a little jerky. That's something that I'll probably have to have a little work around on. It was working okay yesterday. It's just this webcam, I think. I'll have to fiddle around a little bit more with the settings. Maybe if I don't try to move quite so much. Okay, so the next question, I received an email. It's actually forwarded to me, and they said, has my email been hacked? No, they didn't. Get it right, Mark. They actually asked, is this email a scam? So let's have a look at that email. So here we had an email with a subject line of 4 broken emails has been found and recovered, and this was sent to Pam and Jeff, and they asked me, is this okay or is it a scam? A number of things that you can check for yourself when you get such emails is for the telltale signs which tell you whether it's legitimate or not. So the first thing that I always say is, have they actually addressed you by your name in the message? Quite often in scam emails, they might start off with dear and then your email address, or dear and the first part of your email address, rather than actually addressing you by your name, sort of Mr. Van Bellen or Mark Van Bellen. So have a look for that one first, and if that's missing, you know, have a look a little bit further. Now the next thing to check is who the email is actually from. So if you actually look at the email as a whole, you can actually see that there's a Google logo in there. So one might think that it's something to do with Google, and quite a lot of people do have Google email addresses, Gmail addresses. So this is where they're trying to trick you. So have a look at the email address that it's from. I've actually highlighted it in green here, and we can see that this one is from an address called drummondnn@legacytsi.com. That definitely doesn't sound like anything to do with Google at all. So that's another one. However, do take a warning that email addresses can actually be spoofed, so they can be made to look like a legitimate email address. So don't always take that at face value, but this one is definitely not a Gmail one. And then the other thing quite often I've found is if you actually read the email message itself, quite often the English isn't very good, or there's poor grammar. So this is actually reproduced twice in the message, once in the message body and also in the subject. It says 4 broken emails has been found and recovered. Well, obviously if we're talking about emails in the plural, we need to be saying have been found. So just a subtle thing to look out for there. So the quality of the English is not brilliant there. And then finally, for this particular email, is to actually check the links to see where they actually go to. So first of all, the way that you can do this, if you look, quite often links are underlined. I've actually highlighted them in purple here, but it doesn't actually tell you the website that it's going to go to. So what you can actually do on a mobile device, if you press and hold on that link, it'll actually come up with a box and show you the web address that it's going to take you to supposedly recover these emails in this case. It's actually the same link where it says please opt out here as well. So they've used the same link for both. And the link actually went to, well, you can see it there on the screen, downhillbikerride.com, WP-content, themes, pronunciations, sn.php. Quite a long web address. The WP content tells me that this is actually a WordPress website, and in this case it's probably most likely that the downhillbikeride.com website has actually been hacked to give you a page which, if you did click on it, it would take you to a page which would probably look like something from Google. So yes, this one is definitely a scam. Well, in light of there being no more questions forthcoming, let's ask you a question then, Irving. Unfortunately, you can't voice back to me, but you can use the live chat. Have you had a go with the House Party app yet? Well, I'm absolutely astounded that my computer hasn't crashed yet. It is prone to just resetting itself, so I'm quite pleased that it hasn't done that just yet. Let's have a look at House Party on Google Chrome, I think it is. Let's see if I've got a Chrome window. Just open a Google Chrome window up. Okay, Irving, I'll just get my article up on the screen and we'll have a look at it. If you just bear with me one moment whilst I open a Google Chrome window. Right, and we'll just pop that onto your screen for you. Okay, so here we are in Google Chrome. What I'll do is I'll just go to my website first of all, alltechplus.com. Oops, there we go. It should be coming up onto your screen in just a moment. So there's one or two screenshots in this article. So here's my home page, the latest 3 articles there. We've got the coronavirus lockdown in Spain and the House Party app. Let's have a little look at that. I'll just close this schedule appointment box off at the bottom, which is just sitting behind me. So, well, when I wrote this, I think we were just 2 or 3 days in to the lockdown here in Spain. And I thought, what on earth are we going to do if we can't go to the bar or the restaurant and meet our friends and so on and so forth? So I started having a look round to see if there was an app that we could use to get people together. So I got on the internet and had a look on social media, and I found this video calling app called House Party. So here's the website address for it, actually on the article itself. I'll just open that in another window. You can find out a little bit more about it. So House Party is a face-to-face social network. There's the waving hand there. And as we scroll down, so it gives you an idea of what it's actually like. So here on a mobile phone, for example, with 4 people taking part in a call. And it's available on various platforms, so you can run it on practically any mobile phone, so your Android mobile phone, or if you've got an iPhone. Also on the Apple Macintosh, I've got that version, but I also run it in my Chrome browser as well. It tends to seem to work better in the Chrome browser for some reason. The links to download it are of course on their website as well, but I've included them here in the article just for easy access. So we'll just go to the Google Play Store one. So you can click on this one and it'll come up with a page on the Play Store, and you can see that it says installed there. I think if I click on that, it'll probably give me the option of installing it on other devices. So I've got a few Android devices. Let's just have a look to see what that does. I think it's going to bring a box up so that I can choose which device I want to install it to. So I've actually got a couple of phones, one with the UK phone number in and one with the Spanish phone number. so I could install it on both. And I've also got a tablet as well, so you can use it on any device that you have. Taking a long while to open that that site. Oh, there we go. So it says choose a device, so you can pick your device from the drop down list, and it'll actually tell you whether it's compatible or not. Let me just pick one there that I think it probably won't be compatible with. Oh no, it is. It would work on that as well. An Amazon Fire. So the compatibility on different mobile devices is pretty good. Yeah, and just click install and it'll be installed to your device, so you don't even have to do it from the Play Store or the App Store on your device in this case, although you can do. I'll just go back to the article again, and then you've also got install for Google Chrome. So this is if you're using Google Chrome on a laptop, for example. If you click on that link there, it'll take you to the Chrome Web Store. Oh, that's good, Irving. I've just read your comment there saying that you'll check the article out and ask the rest of your family to give it a try. So you see I've got a blue box here which says remove from Chrome because I've already installed it, and if you actually look at the top of the screen there, I've just clicked on it, you get a little icon which allows you to go into their house party once it's installed. And this is all free, of course, there's nothing to pay. There we go, I've clicked on that, it says house party loading. And you can see here, I'm not going to click go online just now because I'm actually using the webcam with a live stream. It would use the same one otherwise. And you can have your contacts there that you can join. If they're online as well, instead of having the little hand in the circle, it'll say join, and then you can just click on that, and that creates a video conference with them, and obviously join up to 8 people at once on that. So that's quite good. I've enjoyed that, using that article there. You can see here where there's a screenshot there in the article. That was it in use on Google Chrome with 3 of us, with Mick Murphy and Taxi Les, as we call him, and of course myself. And then this was where I was using the Mac version, and I actually had it logged in to my Alltech Plus account and my personal account, using 2 different devices to have a house party with myself. How sad. I've included instructions on what you need to do in order to get it going. They should be similar on all devices. Registration is fairly simple. All you have to do is provide an email address and a password and your date of birth. I don't think and a phone number to verify that it's you, and that's it. You don't have to give it any other personal details of your date of birth, but I guess you don't have to give your correct date of birth there if you don't want to. Do you have to use Google Chrome? For the extension in your browser, yes, but if we just go back to the House Party web page, we'll just scroll down to the bottom. Right, okay, so there isn't a Windows app as such, so yes, in answer to that question, Irving, if you want to use it on your computer and it's not a Mac, I think your PC is a Windows PC from what I remember, then you'll need to use Google Chrome for that. But it's quite good, it works quite well. Okay, and if you find the article useful, please do share it with others. There's an easy way to do that. If you just go to the top there, you'll see that you've got a link there for sharing on Facebook or Twitter. Just click on one of those buttons and it'll allow you to share it. And what else can we have a look at? Let's have a see. We'll just have a look to see if we've got anyone else on. No, not just yet. So we could also have a look at, oh yes, let's have a look at that article. I'll just switch to my Firefox screen now. Right, okay, so here we are on Firefox, back on my website again. Just allow notifications. Okay, so the other article I've recently written is routines with Amazon Echo. I'll just click on read more to go and have a look at that. I've actually written 3 articles on using your Amazon device. I'm not going to say the name of she who should not be named, because mine's actually turned on at the moment. I forgot to turn her off. If you look down the right hand side, I've got a tip series there. I think that's the first one there, tip series. I think they're in date order, so I'll just click on the first one. Oh no, that was article 2. Helps if I do the first article first, doesn't it? So the first article had 5 tips in it. Here we go, article 1. So simple things like picking the optimal location for your Echo, and giving your Echo a meaningful name. This becomes important when you have more than one device. So for example, I have one here in the office which I've named Office, and I have one in the lounge which I've named Lounge, and then we also have one in the UK in Empsey, and we call that one Empsey, and we can actually use them as intercoms by using those names. That's quite handy to do that. And there's a little video here which is also on my YouTube which shows you how to change the device name of your Echo device using the relevant app on your phone or tablet. And did you also know that you can make telephone calls with your Echo as well? Free telephone calls. You can make free calls to the UK, which includes mobile phone numbers, and also as well America, Canada and Mexico. Not available in Spain at the moment, unfortunately, although I guess with time that will probably come. And it can also link up with Skype, so if you have a Skype account associated and you have credit, you can make calls out through that as well. So here are some of the different things that you can say to get it to call. So you can just give it a number if you like, so use the wake word and then call and then a number. Or if the contact is stored in your contacts on your phone, it will dial that one as well. If it finds that you've got, or your contact has got more than one number, it'll ask you which number that you want. Or if they've got an Echo device, it'll ask if you'd like to call them on their Echo device as well. Tip number 4, this one's about adding a skill. So this is extending the capabilities of your Amazon device. And those become quite useful to use with routines, which is in my 3rd article. And of course setting up a wake up alarm. So if you have one of these in the bedroom, that might be quite handy. Or indeed if you're in the living room and have an airport run to do and you have one in the living room, you can set a reminder or an alarm to tell you to hop into your car and off you go. And then the 2nd article get that one up. No, I've gone for the first one again. The second article introduces you to another skill, a nightlight skill here. That one's quite handy if you need to get up in the middle of the night and you just want a little bit of guiding light but don't want to turn the main lights on. You can get your device to light up its ring for 10 minutes or ever so briefly with a nightlight skill. Tip number 6, that's probably what I use my Echo for mostly, particularly when I'm in the office. I like to listen to the radio, and there are lots of radio stations available through a service called TuneIn, which is actually enabled by default on your device. So you can say things like play BBC Radio 2 on TuneIn or BBC Radio Leeds. I've just spotted a typing mistake there, BBS, that should be BBC. Or if you like the local Spanish station, I like Los 40. However, she doesn't recognise when you say that, so I have to say Los 40, and that usually does the trick. You can also stop the radio, pause it and resume, or next time you want the radio on, if you just say tune in, she'll actually play the last one that you listened to. Another skill here, this one is not complicated to set up, but it's quite useful if you have difficulty remembering where you left things. You can use this skill to program where things have been stored. So you say ask remember me to remember where I put my passport with the answer in the small safe, and then you can ask her later, ask remember me, where did I put my passport, and she'll tell you. This one's quite a good skill because you can also link up with an associated web site which goes with the service as well, so you can actually go in and you can edit those quite easily as well. Or using your calendar, that's another useful one. If you have a Google email account, Hotmail or an Apple ID account, you also have a calendar which you can use to program your schedule or birthdays or things like that, and you can actually have your device linked to that, so then you can say things like what's on my calendar for today, and she'll tell you. Ask a question, set a PIN code. Oh, one of the things, because the device is actually connected to your Amazon account, it's possible to purchase things by voice commands, so you might want to set a PIN code there to stop other people ordering without your knowledge. Right, I'm just looking at the chat again, Irving, because I've noticed that I've been rambling on for a little bit. Let's just have a see what you've had to say. What about on iPad? Oh, I think you're still referring to the house party. Let me just swap back to that Google Chrome one again. There we go. Where are we? Helps if I get the right window up on my screen. So if we just go back to the house party site itself, the links are on my article as well. So for the iPad, that'll be the iOS app, iOS, so that applies to iPhones and iPads. Okay, and then if we just go back to my site again, and we'll have a look at routines. This is quite a useful thing to know. This is all programmed through your app on your phone for your Amazon Echo device. So the first simple tip there, is what's called follow-up mode. So instead of saying turn the lights on, what's the weather, what's my flash briefing, each of those commands preceded by the wake-up word, that gets a little bit tiresome. So you can actually enable a follow-up mode. So you only have to say the wake word once. So you say the wake word, and then what's the weather, wait for the weather to be read out, and then say what's my flash briefing, and she'll continue listening to you for a short while. So follow-up mode's quite handy. And sort of similarly to that are routines, rather than having to say the same 3 commands all the time. So for example, when I come into the office in the morning, I say the wake word and I say work time, and I'm given the weather forecast, and I'm given what's on my calendar for the day, and then the radio comes on. So I don't have to do those 3 separate voice commands. So those are quite useful. Let's just have a look at the stream. So it's still just me and thee, Irving. So how long have we done? It's 16:17 now. So what we did from 3:30. So I can't believe that 3/4 of an hour has passed. Actually, it's relatively flown. So I think probably what I will do once the stream ends, there's a little bit of useful information, well, hopefully more than a little bit, on answering some of those questions that you had, Irving, and also the ones that I got from Pam. So I'll put those into a separate video. I'll actually edit them out of this stream so that they are there for people to view at a later time. And of course this stream will be available to watch back later on as well. Okay, so we've just got 10 more minutes left. If there's anything that you can think of, Irving, I'll be happy to help out. Oh, we've got someone else popped up on Facebook for the last 10 minutes or so. So if that's you on Facebook, do comment, say hello, so that we know who you are. And if you've got a quick question or two about any tech, pop that in there as well, and I'll do my best to help you out with that. You can watch this video stream back later on if you wish, so at least then you can see what you've missed. So I answered a couple of questions, one to do with scam emails and the other one to do with the House Party app, and I've also answered one or two questions for Irving regarding the House Party app, and I've also discussed some of the articles on my website to do with Amazon Echo devices. So I've actually got 3 articles on the site there, 12 tips in all on how to get the best out of those. So you can pop over to the website and have a look at those if you wish. I'll just send you the link through the chat just now. Here we go. Here it comes. Those people that were having a quick look at us on Facebook seems to have disappeared now. Oh, I'd love to know who they were. Sound has gone. The microphone's turned on. I wonder if you've inadvertently turned your volume off. I don't know. Turn volume. Well, this live streaming is a little bit more difficult than I thought. Maybe it'd probably be a bit easier if there were a few more people on, I expect. I quite often watch live streams myself. Yes, I'm not sure when I'm going to do the next one yet. I think I may do another test one before, and then probably start putting a few posts on Facebook. I've thought about perhaps okay, I've just restarted the stream. I don't know whether that has improved any or not. The transfer rate is still pretty low down, so I think I'm going to need to have a look at these settings a little bit more to try and get the best out of it. What I'm trying to do is to get the best quality I can for people who are viewing without impacting too much. I'm just looking at the stream on my own computer in the software that I'm broadcasting with, and the webcam or the motion is quite jerky, and yesterday when I was testing it and the day before it was quite a bit better, so I'm not sure on there. I'm actually using this on a Mac at the moment. The version for the PC running Windows is supposed to be quite a bit better. Whether I have a go with that or not, I don't know. I've not used Windows for quite a while now, but I can run it in the background of my Mac, so I might give that a go as well. Okay, we've got someone just bobbed back in on Facebook. We're just going to be on for another couple of minutes now. If you have had a look on Facebook, just let me know. Any feedback is appreciated, and I think we'll probably call it a day there now, Irving. Thank you very much for your support. I do appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, I know you're already on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon next to it, and then that way when I do another stream or indeed upload another video, you'll be informed at the time. Okay, 1,000 subscribers would be great. Got a long way to go there. I think I had 33 when I looked the other day. So let's try and get those up, and if you could let people know as well, then perhaps they can join in with us next time. Okay, Irving, fare thee well, and I'll speak to you soon. So let's just finish this stream. So stream ending. Okay, there we go.